Greetings, Trailblazer family. My name is Aldo Lumsey Jr. Thank you so much for joining us today. Today, we're going to be hosting our How to Maximize Your Summer Break webinar. So, if we hope that you gain a lot from this workshop, but before we get started, we want to introduce a friend of our department and university, and that's Miss Jasmine Hillman with the Dallas Entrepreneurship Center at Redbird, which is located not too far from campus. And we want to give her a little bit of time to have a remarks. So without further ado, I'd like to turn it over to Ms. Jasmine.
Thank you, Arthur. Thank you all for having me. So, just to give you a little bit of information about the DEC Network, well, I'll start with my name. I'm Jasmine Hillman. I am the outreach manager for the DEC at Redbird. And the DEC Network is the Dallas Entrepreneur Center Network. And so what we do, we really, our mission is to drive innovation and economic impact by helping entrepreneurs to start, build, and grow their business. And so it's really just the world of entrepreneurship. Like, we really exist so that we can help business owners and entrepreneurs to really get their businesses off the ground. So sometimes you might hear people say, well, I have a side hustle, right? But they haven't turned it into an actual, like, legitimate business, right? They may not have an LLC, things of that nature. First of all, I'm so sorry. I did not know my video was not on. Sorry about that. So hopefully I'm on screen, but we really exist to really help entrepreneurs to start, building, grow their business. So some people come to us and they're like, I have an idea and I just want, I need help with it. Like, how do I make take this idea and turn it into an actual business and make money and grow this concept? And so we work with entrepreneurs from every stage of their business. It may be the beginning stages where they just have an idea. It may be, they may be in a growth stage. They've been making money, generating income, and they're looking for exposure or just looking for that next level of information that's going to get them to where they want to be. So we provide resources, and we provide like a network, a community for people to come, and really get connected to like-minded individuals like themselves. We also provide mentorship. So we have different business owners that come and say, hey, like, I have 2 or 3 hours that I want to, give away a week, or, that I have available every 2 weeks, to meet with the entrepreneur, to give them advice, to give them guidance. And then we also, from the advocate side, we're constantly trying to find ways to help people fund their dreams, because we know it takes money, right? And so everything with us, we really are like this hub of resources and connections and things of that nature. And so if you have that entrepreneur spirit and you're like, I think I want to own my own business one day. Like, I want to, I don't always want to work for someone. I may be the one that wants to hire employees, right? Then, like, we're the place, right, to come, and it doesn't have to be like a sure thing just yet. You might just feel like you want to do more, and like you're looking for ways to do that, right? Like, and you might come to an event, you might just come to a workshop that we're hosting, or like I said, we do classes. One thing that UNT has done very well with the DEC Network, we have worked together to create educational programming around entrepreneurship. So, sometimes those programs are anything from 6 to 12 weeks, just depending on what program you choose. And during that time, we're meeting once a week, just talking about how we can take this idea of yours and turn it into something that is the next greatest invention, which it could be, or service, whatever it is that you're interested in. And so, we really enjoy working with younger demographic of students, or just emerging entrepreneurs that are new, that are super hungry to, like, get out here and really explore the different, the diverse ways that you can earn income. Because some people work a 9 to 5, but they still have their own business on the side, right? Like, because in the times we're living in today, you almost need a second income, right? Like, you almost need a second stream of income. And so that's something that we help people look at too. It's another diverse stream of income. What ways can I earn money while still working my 9 to 5? There's so many different models. There's no one way to do it, but we provide the pathways and the guidance and the right connections and the right experts who can speak to these different subject matters. And so if it's something that you're ever interested in, we also do internships. So, you can come on board and become an intern for the Deck Network and just really see how we work with business owners and entrepreneurs. And that's another way to just gain another skill as well. So, as Arthur and Bailey go through this PowerPoint about how to maximize your summer break, that's something to think about. There's internship available. There's ambassadorship that we have where people come into our space. We do have an innovation hub in the southern part of Dallas. If you're familiar with Redbird Mall, we are right inside of Redbird Mall. And so what we typically do, there's all kind of business and entrepreneurs that come there and they work out of that space just to get their ideas going, just to be around other entrepreneurs. And so we have a program where if people want to come into the space, help out, and just provide any kind of services around the space that we may need to help those businesses. Like we have a program for that. We have internship as well, where people, if it's a certain area you want to work in, it's another way to gain skills. And I think that's always great. It looks great on your resume as well. Of course, we write, recommendation letters. We don't have paid internship yet. That's something we're working on, but the skills that you learn and the things that we're doing, they're definitely transferable. I always encourage people to enjoy their summer break, but at the same exact time, also, don't hesitate to do things that can get you further along in life. Like some of these skills are hard to develop when you're doing classes and you have all these other things on your plate, but like if you have a perfect opportunity to go and learn a skill set that you can really, take with you to the next phase of your life, I definitely recommend it. Arthur has all of my information. So if you ever just want to email me, want to set up a call, you want to just walk through the space, you want to see what our innovation hub looks like, feel free to reach out. As an outreach manager, that's what we love, to bring more awareness to entrepreneurship and how we can, create those opportunities for collegiate students especially. So feel free to reach out and thank you again for just, listening to me and ramble on and on about entrepreneurship. I can go on all day about it, but definitely hope that if you're interested, you get plugged in or tell someone else about it.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Jasmine.
Of course.
Awesome. Well, next we're gonna turn it over to Bailey and Jackie for them to present on the topic, how to maximize your summer break. So without further ado.
Yeah, we'll go ahead and start with an introduction. Hi, everyone. My name is Bailey Bracken. I'm a career advisor for the School of Business and School of Education.
Hey everyone, my name is Jacqueline Pope, but I go by Jackie, and I'm the career advisor for the School of Liberal Arts and Sciences and Human Services.
Awesome. So let's get started, maybe. Here we go. So first thing, as career services, we have to tell you this. This is kind of like our thing, is you need to gain experience, which is kind of a given. But you need to apply for internships and jobs, which that might be kind of short notice now. But making sure you get ready for the fall and you're prepared. Create an internship if possible. I know a lot of people with COVID, internships have not been as accessible, or we haven't had as many opportunities. So a lot of people have gotten creative and created their own position in a company, or started their own business, or even just managed to shadow like a family friend or things like that. So you can also create an internship. Definitely use your connections, and we can also help you with those. Work a summer job. It's always important to save money and get ready for the next school year coming up. So it doesn't always have to be career related, and we can also work on those transferable skills. Volunteer for a great cause. Volunteering is still experience. That's something we can still talk about and expand on your resume. So make it sure it's something you're passionate about and maybe kind of relates to your job. But once again, it doesn't have to. And one thing we definitely recommend is attend a professional development opportunity, which is kind of like today if we think about it. So you're here, you're kind of marking one thing off the list. Also, creating a business, like I talked about earlier, creating like a side hustle is never a bad thing. We also have some other websites like Fiverr, things like that, that also have side hustles. That is a great resource to use where you can kind of make your own little business. Don't be afraid to get creative during this time period. Also, conduct your own individual project. Don't be afraid to do your own research in something, or really push the limits of what you're curious about and finding out details. But also you can start a blog that shows off writing skills. So that's still experience you can use for any job you're using. So don't be afraid to start a blog either. All right, I'll let Jackie cover this one.
So Miss Hillman mentioned that they have opportunities at the deck for you to gain skills. I know we hear a lot of times I want to make sure that I'm getting money and I'm doing something, but know that it's all about the skills. Skills will pay the bills, you all. So make sure that you're doing something that's building your skills. Now, on the other side, a lot of the times I have a lot of students say, I want to pursue more education. You know, I know what career I want, but I'm going to need a master's degree, or I'm going to need to become more of a content expert or master in that content. So this is where first you have to plan a budget for your upcoming school year. I have a lot of students say, well, I'm trying to get out of college with zero debt. I think that's great, but I also believe in investment. So if there are opportunities for you to invest more in your education, maybe that's taking external courses through LinkedIn Learning, Coursera, Udemy, take advantage of those. Email your professors before you get to the classrooms. Look at their CVs, they're online. Take a summer course. There is a whole entire community college district here in Dallas. Maybe you don't want to change up your entire degree. Maybe you just say, you know, I'm interested in this. I would like to do it, but I don't want that to be my full-time job. Well, take a course. A lot of the community colleges offer a lot of different courses. Make sure you go back over, and this is one thing I look at with my students. If you know you want to be a content expert in an area, it's going to take studying outside of classroom. It's going to take you taking the extra step. So looking at notes, looking at PowerPoints, creating PowerPoints. If we're honest, a lot of the times it's about us and the knowledge we can demonstrate when you're applying for jobs. It's skills and knowledge. So this is an opportunity for you to expand your knowledge. Get a head start. Make sure that you're being strategic with your extracurricular activities and the organizations that you're involved in. A lot of times students say, okay, I'm going to only get in one organization, but there's several organizations that are academic focused, or several organizations that are focused on helping you build those skills that you can actually speak about when you're applying for work or whatever you decide to do upon graduation. Also, literally, y'all, you have two people on your side easily, okay? Let me tell you, we do a triage here at UNT Dallas. We have our academic advising team who will make sure you walk across the stage. They're honest. They're going to help you walk through those degree plans. They're rooting for you from start to end. And guess what? Along the way, we're right beside them. As you're choosing the degree and you're choosing courses, we encourage you to come over and speak to us, get to know us. Hey, I'm thinking to change my major, Jackie. Hey, I'm taking this course. So what in this course can I talk about in the interview? So know that you have a duo team. Academic advice is going to help you get across that stage. They're going to make sure you know everything when it comes to your degree plan. And what we do is we make sure that you understand how everything that you're learning on campus, everything you're involved in on campus or in the community, how we're going to sell that to an employer or present that to possible opportunities once you graduate. Also set up systems. Now, this is a big thing, time management. I know that we're all coming out of I'm gonna say like phase 2 of the pandemic. So please stay safe. We're not out of the woodwork, but we are coming out, which means that you're having more opportunities to have face-to-face opportunities. That means that time is going to look very different than it did a year ago. So you want to be strategic. What does my time look like for academics? What does that look like for preparing myself professionally? What does that look like for my leisure time? And a big part, and if you know that you're wanting to go to graduate school of any sort, you need to make sure that you're studying for those admission interest exams. That is my biggest a worry point for a lot of my students is when they come, they realize they want to go to graduate school, and then they realize, oh my gosh, I have to study for an entrance exam. So that's why you have to meet with us, so we can go ahead and just create this plan. So you already have your systems. You know where to tap into on campus. You know how to maximize your academics. You know where you can gain some skills. So that's why folks in academics is not just getting an A in a course. We want to make sure that you're taking that knowledge and making it just a part of who you are, and so that you can, again, translate that when you get to see employers in the future times.
This kind of leads into make sure you tackle a project you've been putting off. I know during COVID, we've all struggled with working, staying from home, and has not been as time productive as we wanted. So that's what I constantly have a to-do list where things do get pushed back to the next day and the next day. So eventually it makes it to the top, but having that feeling of tackling that project that's been on there for a minute is one of the best feelings, and it's going to make you feel more productive. So that's just a good theme between academics and gaining experience. But also we want you to upskill. Learn a new skill to add to your resume. That's one thing you can do sitting home from right now. You can get on LinkedIn Learning. You can attend professional development courses to add to your resume. You can always upskill. Get on YouTube, watch videos of how to work a certain program if you want something a little bit more free and accessible. You can always learn a new skill during that time period. But also you can work on turning your weakness into a strength. So really like set yourself some challenges. If you're struggling with time management, get a planner and like I said, make that to-do list every day. Challenge yourself to complete it, and like it may not always work out, but either way you're going to see improvement. So setting small goals to turn that weakness into a strength. Fixing up your resume during this time period, that's what we can also help you with. That you can send us your resume and we can include keywords, set up sections, make your resume flow a little bit better, and we can work on adding those new skills. Finding a mentor, like Jasmine just said, they offer mentors through the DC network, so that's another great way to reach out. But also finding a mentor to help you hold you accountable in your field, keep you up to date in what's trending is a big resource. And then polish your LinkedIn. I know LinkedIn can be challenging sometimes because it's basically like an online resume, but making sure you're keeping that up to date and updating it constantly, because that's one resource that we've seen really pop off during this pandemic. So making sure you're keeping that up to date and you're posting what classes you're taking, what experiences you're going through, what conferences you're attending, things like that. And then clean up your digital presence. So making sure that we don't have any unprofessional photos linked when you Google your name or on social media, things like that. So go ahead and clean that up this summer, making sure it's good to go for that job ready in the fall. Another little like hobby you can learn as upskills, maybe learn another language. Like you can download an app to kind of challenge yourself to learn a new language every day. Just a thought. And I'll let Jackie talk about Handshake.
So, what, like Bailey said, we went through gain experience, making sure that you're focusing on those academics and how you can centralize your academics. So, not just focusing on A in classroom, but moving the knowledge from the classroom and applying it. Then we talked about upskilling. If we're honest, all of us had to upskill with using technology. If you did know how to use Zoom before the pandemic, you probably know how to use it now. And the same thing with MS Teams and so many other online video web services. And so, like, okay, how do we make all of this make sense? Like, what do you mean when we're maximizing? Well, one way is through our Handshake. In Handshake, you're not only going to see job opportunities, you're also going to see events that you can go to. So, like informational events, you're going to have events where you connect with employers, because a lot of times the disconnection is I only should connect with an employer if I'm looking for a job, when it's actually the opposite. You should just be networking at any opportunity, so that if those opportunities maybe in the future you're looking for work in that field, you've already networked. They're already able to put a face with a name. They already kind of have a connection, and that makes the process of finding a job upon employment way easier. Everyone should have a Handshake account. It is literally linked on you go to UNT Dallas Career Services. It's going to be a little green button that says Handshake. Make sure you use your UNT Dallas email address, choose your classification, and also choose your major. Okay, so that's a big thing. That's my little plug. Make sure you get a Handshake. Again, that's internships, part-time, full-time job, and community events. When I say everything is in there, our events on campus that will help you. So this is an easy way for you to start. How can I use the summer to take some time to plan for my next year?
Jackie, you want to cover this one too, since this is
I
more
sure can.
counselor side?
Yes, I sure can. I am a huge believer of taking care of yourself, your mental health, your wellness. Again, I try to do my walk every day. The pandemic let us know that we can't be stuck behind desks. But the big thing is employers don't want the misconception. No employers want a boring employee, okay? They don't want you to be boring. I guess my team will say, I like to have fun. I like to make jokes, but no one wants the boring person on the team. So that's why we want to have a well-rounded life, because work is only a part of your life. The work you do is not the sum of your life. So that's why getting into hobbies, creating new hobbies, do some summer reading, explore your city. I know the explore your city, be safe. Okay. We're not encouraging you go out here and get sick. But guess what? If that means that you get to go see a new part of the city, new exhibits, do that. Join a summer sports league. Try some new form of exercise. I tell a lot of my students it's best to gain some of these habits before you get in your career versus when you're in your career and now you're trying to do like this. Oh man, my back is hurting. Oh man, I'm stressed. So what you're doing is you're creating habits that are going to help you in the long run when you are facing challenges such as stress at work or changes. You're going to have like a go-to. I tell people, I don't know if I may be dating myself, a Barney. So it's like the Barney bag. It just create your own Barney bag whenever you're having those moments where you can pull stuff out of. Taking some culture. When I say culture, that means that we have a lot of things changing from the political climate to our campuses to just how things have changed after the pandemic. Take some of the information in. Take a spontaneous trip. Literally, again, pandemic has limited a lot of things, but maybe instead of going to your regular restaurant, go to another restaurant, because these things help whenever you're allowing yourself time to relax, to breathe, to enjoy just the now. That's going to release you to be able to think more creatively. That's going to allow you to start connecting who you are. So in an interview, when they ask you, tell me about yourself, you're not just reading off a resume. You said, well, I really do enjoy interacting with people. I enjoy scenery. I enjoy outdoors. Again, employers want to know you're a human. Okay. If they wanted a robot, they would make a robot and have them in your seat. So they want humans. Make sure you disconnect and take some time outside. Now, unless you have some other medical reasons, don't hurt yourself, but disconnecting from technology helps, again, like Jasmine saying, that created innovation. You want to get as far away from technology sometimes, but then you can come back to it and your mind has relaxed. As much as we don't know, technology gives us this like we're busy, 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 busy. So maybe you just need to disconnect for a little and get crafty. I know some people do planners. You can do them online, but I'm old school, so I always laugh because I keep a planner on my desk. I have my highlighters, my pens, my stickers, whatever that may be, but get crafty, get your crafty, but know that you matter before any job. So before you start these stressful internship searches or part-time searches or courses in the fall or thinking about what skills can I get, what business do I need to create, make sure that you know you can't do any of that if you're not taking care of self. So please make that note. I have to take care of myself. So find things that are for you, only for you, and then bring you some joy so that as you are upskilling, focusing on academics, gaining experience, you are literally taking a break and just enjoying the moments that you need. Because again, you have done a great job so far. You're still here. You're still trekking through your academics. You're still building your future. You've braved the whole pandemic. Okay. We got to get some accolades there. Everyone has done a great job with this. And so make sure you take some breaks. Although we're planning for futures, your future is going to come. But make sure you're taking breaks in between to process the new changes, to really focus on what is a priority right now. Like Bailey said, what is those to-do lists? What are some projects you need to tackle? And so that's why focusing on you and taking these breaks really matter.
But also, after you're taking those breaks, it's important to research your career, which we have a few resources listed below. So we're going to get talking about those. So one way to kind of research your career, if you don't know what job titles you're quite looking at yet, or you have the field narrowed down, or you don't know exactly where to start, we recommend taking Focus 2. This is an assessment. As you can see, it has different types. You have work interest, personality, leisure, values, skills assessment. So what's awesome, it measures you holistically. So that's pretty cool. But you can take these different assessments and combine different ones, and it gives you different job titles in different fields. So that way you can kind of see which one would you be interested in. But also when you click on it, it allows you to see the salary, the job description, like the day-to-day tasks. So it really breaks it down for you so you can see which job titles would be a best fit. So that way when you go into the fall semester, you know which top 5 job titles fit you best, what you're looking for, what classes you should take to better prepare you for those jobs. So this is just a great way to kind of make yourself more aware of what's a good fit for you. Oh, Jack, I'll let you talk about Onnet.
Oh, y'all, I love skills. Will always pay the bills. Onnet is a great resource for you to get super facts on what skills are needed immediately for your field. If your field is growing, what is the average salary for your field? Task. So a lot of times people say, what does that job do? Type that job in Onnet. They will tell you what that job does. They'll tell you the type of activities that job does. When you took Focus 2 is going to do a personality assessment. It's going to give you some Holland Code knowledge, such as either you're investigative, you're artistic, whatever that may be. Guess what? Onnet will automatically show you how you connect to the work that you're choosing to look up, because it will have those kind of demarkers there for you to see. But again, it's going to show you what's the hottest jobs right now. It's going to give you a lot of information. So Onnet is where you want to get lost at. It's also where you want to fact check your future at. A lot of the times we have a preconceived notion that one field is better than the other. So ONET is not controlled by any college. It is literally controlled by the government. They compile data and information, they present it back to us. So I would encourage that you get lost in ONET, has a lot of great resources and tools.
I think with the end of that, that is our end of our presentation. So if y'all have any questions, feel free to send them in the chat or unmute yourself, or if you're on Facebook, feel free to comment and we'll be happy to answer those. And there's our social media. If y'all need to keep up, or if you have any questions, you can always email us at careers.untdallas.edu. And as you can see, we have lots of social media, so I'm sure you have one of these platforms, so please check us out.
And a reminder that we are available during the summer to meet virtually with you guys. So to schedule an appointment, please utilize the Handshake platform.
We look forward to appointments. Okay, I know I have one student. If you need to do an appointment every week in the summer, we encourage that, because if this is your downtime right now, before you get into the hustle and bustle of the school year, maybe we set up something weekly that we go through these steps. If it's your resume, if it's your cover letter, if it's your LinkedIn, if it's finding possible job titles, if it's connecting, okay, what future work do I need to do? If I'm going to graduate school, I already have a plan. So think about it this way. If you can meet with us in the summer, you already have your career plan ready for the school year. So then you're connecting organizations, courses, volunteer experiences, and skills into the plan that we create in the summer. So that's just my little plug. You know, we're here. But if you want to start the school year off with being ahead of the curve, I would highly encourage meet with us weekly. Now, I have several students who have kind of put onto this momentum, and we meet weekly, and two of them have already gained employment. So I do know that there is some truth behind meeting regularly to just, again, help you walk through some things so you're not so stressed out during the school year. Come with us this summer while things are a little slower.
And with that, if there aren't any questions, we want to thank you once again for tuning in. We look forward to hopefully checking, or should I say seeing you guys on the 30th when we're hosting our next workshop, staying persistent and resilient during your job search. And that is going to be with Mr. Marvin Arts of Mesquite ISD, and he's going to be sharing some tips with us. So please make sure that you tune in. And if there aren't any questions,
We actually have a really good question in the
oh,
chat. I'm going to say it.
let's
out
go
loud.
ahead and answer. Yes, please.
Jackie already answered it, so I'll let her cover it. But it says, when you said make time for yourself, does that apply taking a gap year before continuing my education further?
And I said, yes, it does. Sometimes we have to think of career as a lifelong process. I'm pretty sure Jasmine can speak to this with all of the many entrepreneurs she works with. You, unless you're planning on leaving us anytime soon, you have a whole life ahead of you. And if that means taking a gap year to explore careers, connect with entrepreneurs, breathe, then know that that is more welcome. And most graduate schools want you to come in if you're rested. They don't want you stressed out. They don't want you in this hesitation. Careers aren't going anywhere, y'all. If anything, new ones are coming. So if taking that break means that your mental health is good, your physical health is good, that you're ready to take on that investment and that challenge, then yes, I'm gonna. Now people may disagree, but I believe gap years is literally self-care, and they can really help you do better and know how to better equip you for when you do continue your education. Because education is only one part of career. Career is way more than just education. We got skills, we got networking, you got life. So guess what? Take as much time as you need. To my knowledge, most colleges are not going anywhere. And if they are, there's already gonna be another college waiting for you. So again, please do what's best for your mental health, physical health, all well-being. You matter before anything.
That was a good question.
And you will go back. Okay, I think I have a lot of students. You will go back. I want you to go talk to entrepreneur in the centers. They will tell you that for a long time, they said, I'm gonna just work for a company. I've met a lot of people, I'm gonna just work for a company. And some they wake up and they say, you know what, I'm gonna do my own business. So you will go back to school. You will start a business if you want to. You will upskill. What happens is, just like I can't rush my 5-year-old who is learning how to tie a shoe, he's gonna learn how to tie that shoe one day. So the same graces that we give a child tying a shoe, give yourself the same graces. You are in school, you will not miss out on opportunity. There's nothing in life that would keep you away from going back to school. So again, I know we hear that stigma from a lot of people. Like if you don't do it now, you won't ever do it. That's not true. I think that's some people's cases, but for a majority of us, we don't figure out some things we really enjoy until we're starting living. And then we realize we have some different interests. We want to try new things. So don't let anyone tell you differently. Just because you take the year, you will go back. You could be a gap year, it could be a couple of gap years. It doesn't matter. You will go back because you will know the reason why you want to do it.
And it makes it more impactful. And also too, depending on the things that you do during a gap year, once you come back, there may be opportunities that maybe your employer may pay for your education. So if you're strategic with your gap year, there are things that can be very beneficial, the things that most people do not think about and or talk about. And I use an example of one employer that we've hosted through one of our workshops is AmeriCorps, where they have programs where you can do a gap year with them where you're working, and then there's educational benefits. And I think I'm trying to think of the Jasmine. It was another Jasmine. So we love our Jasmines at UNT Dallas Career Services, but she was working with AmeriCorps Vista, and during her gap year, and then was able to complete her master's degree at USC and have it fully paid for. So that's just an example of taking a strategic gap year.
And I shared the little link as well because there's many organizations just like this with the government, with FEMA. There's several that you can get into that during your gap year, you're building skills. Ms. Hillman speak about that transferable skills. You may not necessarily want to go work for the government, but to get around different people, different experiences, and see the world from a different view can be so impactful. I've seen several of my friends who did this, very like, oh my God, this was random. And a lot of them realized that they had some interest they never realized they did. So again, just like I want you to get connected with our deck. And the reason I said this, because that's right here by the house. It's in our neighborhood. So
Yes.
connected. Come and connect with people who have traveled, who are doing things. That's what a gap year would be. Say, for instance, you get a job that pays the bills, is giving you some experience, but then you're going to do an internship with someone, not because you're focused on money, but you like what they do. Those things are impactful because, again, the whole idea is if I can leave with skills, some knowledge, and some experience, that's what you're leveraging as you're navigating through your career. It's not always a paycheck. Paychecks will come, and I have to say that honestly, they will. But those experiences and skills and networks, those are harder to come by. So in your gap year, maybe you don't leave to go off to FEMA or AmeriCorps. We have literally Entrepreneurship Center who wants interns. So in your gap year, you work a 9 to 5 just to, again, cover life expenses. But then on the weekends, you have programs or you're able to work the behind scenes with people and what they're doing. That kind of stuff would be so impactful. So literally, I'm going to keep plugging in our center because I know that they're doing awesome things and Dallas is booming. So why not take advantage of that right now?
Absolutely. When you said that, it made me think of the Dallas Business Journal. If you ever want to know which companies are relocating to the Dallas-Fort Worth market, that is a trusted news source that is detailing who's hiring, which companies are moving, and how many people they're anticipating hiring. Just from reading one article, I think it's projected over the next 10 years that the DFW Metroplex is projected to add over 900,000 jobs. We just need one of them to be yours. As a UNT Dallas future alumnus, for those of you who are tuning in. So are there any other questions or comments?
I'll jump in just really quick because I feel like Ms. Polk was saying just some really amazing stuff that I hope you guys really think about. As she mentioned, like just from our standpoint, we see so many. We had about 12 interns that come in this year. Just I think back in June, you know, from all different universities, SMU, TCU, but we're still waiting for like that amazing UNT Dallas student, you know, to walk through. And we actually have a couple, believe it or not, in this recent batch who's doing well. He's at Redbird. His name is Juan Torres. He is currently a student at UNT Dallas, and he is crushing it. He is doing flyer designs. He's meeting people. Like, he's just getting skills. You know, he's awesome. Like, really. And I think we have another one, but like, he's from UNT Dallas. And I mean, he's just learning things. I mean, sometimes he's just greeting people. He's making sure they're comfortable when they're in the space. We're not going to take up a lot of your time, but just allowing you to see not only from us as an organization how we operate from day to day, but also just seeing entrepreneurship up close. Like, they're very raw, you know, can learn, you grow your network, which is very important. Let me tell you, like, it is very true. As long as you have the ability to make money, you will always be able to do that. You will always have some kind of job you can go and do. But it is not as common to make those connections that can really help you to leverage like your next move in life. Who you know is huge. And so our network is ginormous. And we give you access to all of it. And so, you know, just start to think about, you know, of course, enjoy yourself, unwind, unpack, do all those things, but also, you know, keep at the forefront of your mind, you know, what is my organization? We're not very uptight. It is a very relaxed organization. We're professional, but we like for people to have fun. We like for people to, you know, learn things, but also like enjoy the process, enjoy the journey, right? So definitely, you know, stay plugged in, or even if it's not with the DEC network, find a place where you can really grow and cultivate and, you know, get the skills that you need to do what you really want to do in life. Because what you do now is going to determine what tomorrow looks like, for sure.
Absolutely. Well, I feel like this has been amazing. All of the nuggets and gems of wisdom that have been shared by my colleagues have been super amazing. So sometimes there's this thing of knowing when to stop and leave it. So I don't want to add anything else. I just want to say, I hope that you take advantage of the rest of our workshop series that we have coming for the remainder of the semester. You will be able to catch a replay of this on our Facebook page, as well as on our YouTube channel, which is at UNT Dallas Career Services. So please tune in and feel free to like, share, and follow our content. Help us get the word out and share. If you felt that this was pretty cool, feel free to share it with somebody so that each one reach one. We're trying to get the message out about our office, even if they're not UNT Dallas students. I preface that as well, because we feel like our content can go for anyone. And so with that, once again, we want to say thank you. Feel free to tune in to our next workshop, and we will be seeing you guys very, very soon. Take care, and bye-bye.